Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here today. They say all the world is a stage, and certainly today it is. First, to Monsignor Kevin Sullivan, who has done such an outstanding job for so long at Catholic Charities. Let's give him a round of applause and thank him for his service. To Catherine Kinney, who's the board chair and has also done outstanding service. Thank you very much, Ms. Kinney. We have Bill Mulrow, who's secretary to the governor, who's here today. I'd like to acknowledge him, and Controller Tom DiNapoli is here, and Assemblyman Marcus Crespo. Pleasure to be with all of you. And to our fearless leader, His Eminence, such a powerful force for the state of New York. It's Your Eminence. It's a pleasure to be with you. 100 years ago, the New York State Legislature incorporated a collection of charitable agencies from the 8 archdioceses of New York. And that was the Catholic Charities. That's when it started. Literally this year, on April 24th, the state legislature passed the legislation in 1917. And I'm going to proclaim this April 24th Catholic Charities Day in the state of New York as a remembrance and a recollection of the great work and the birthplace of an agency that has helped literally millions and millions of New Yorkers. So it's my pleasure to do that. And it's also my pleasure to recall the social justice enterprise of the Catholic Church, not just the clergy, but also lay people who the heritage of the Catholic Church was always a very active lay person, always dedicated to social justice, and still is today. As the Monsignor mentioned, the partnership with state government is very important. I worked in the federal government for 8 years, and we worked with Catholic Charities, and now as governor, it's my pleasure to work with Catholic Charities. Like Linda, I am a product of a Catholic education, and I want you to know, Your Eminence, that the sisters at St. Gerard Majella did not waste their time, and the Marist brothers at Archbishop Malloy did not waste their time, and the Jesuits at Fordham did not waste their time on me. Maybe they wasted some of their time on me, but and I am proud to be the governor who will propose the largest amount of funding for Catholic charities and Catholic schools in history at $300 million this year. So. Now I just hope that Senate Leader Flanagan and Speaker Hasty had as robust a Catholic education as I did, so we actually get it passed. But the partnership with Catholic Charities is more important than ever before, because the old problems that we traditionally came together to fight are still just as bad. Poverty, hunger still exist. We have more homeless today than ever before in history, believe it or not. What was supposed to be a temporary problem when it started in the late 70s and the early 80s is now a permanent fixture. So the same course of battle remains, and the partnership to fight those issues. But today there are even new issues that are in many ways more challenging and more troubling. There are issues of intolerance within our society, within our state. We have had a rash of hate crimes over these past few months that's unlike anything we've seen before, all parts of the state. There's an anger, there's a disappointment that is worse than anything that we've addressed. And that is also a mission that we must undertake, and we must undertake together. In my State of the State address this year, I spoke about a full agenda on the social justice issues that we must pursue together. But I also spoke about the tolerance issues and the understanding issues and the division issues. And in many ways, I think those take precedence. We have to remember that what unites us is more powerful than what divides us. And whether you believe in the words and teachings of Matthew 25 or Tikkun Olam in Judaism or the Quran, the basis is still love and community. That is the common denominator. And I asked in the state of the state that His Eminence would undertake a special mission on behalf of the state to put together an interfaith reconciliation council so we remember the commonality among us as New Yorkers, even those of different faiths. And I would like to once again take this opportunity to thank His Eminence for accepting that and for his leadership at this time of trouble. Your Eminence, we thank you very much. And my hope is at this time of need that New York can once again show the way. New York has dealt with diversity from its birth. We were the stepping off point for millions of people who came to this nation. We are 18 million people strong, as diverse a place as exists on the globe. And we have found a way to make it work. Not always perfectly, but we make it work. Because New York is still the laboratory of the American experiment in democracy. And New York still says simply that we can bring people from all over the world and we can bring them together to understand a common destiny of forging community as one. Our founding fathers said, e pluribus unum, which says it all, out of many, one. That was the founding premise. It's the enduring promise of this nation. And it is the New York way. And that lesson is more important today than ever before. Thank you. Happy birthday, Catholic Charities.